She went from broke and anxious to building one of the most powerful self improvement brands in the world. And it all started with a countdown: five, four, three, two, one. This is how Mel Robbins turned a moment of rock bottom into a global movement. Hey, I'm Natasha, founder of the Women Up TV, SheRanks Academy, where we talk about the mindset, power, and psychology behind the women who lead. If you're ready to turn knowledge into action and self doubt into momentum, hit subscribe and let's talk Mel Robbins. Mel wasn't born confident. She built it one 5 second decision at a time. At her lowest point, she discovered a psychology hack that rewired her habits and rebuilt her life, and she turned it into a movement that's changed millions. Mel Robbins is not your typical self help icon. She's a behavioral strategist who's mastered the art of turning science into self leadership. Her success doesn't come from hype, it comes from habits. Before she became a household name, Mel was broke, depressed, and stuck in a self sabotage. She wasn't born um, she wasn't born a motivational speaker. She became one out of necessity. Years ago, she found herself hitting new snooze every morning, overwhelmed by debt, drinking too much, and failing to take control of her life. One night, while watching a rocket launch on TV, something clicked. She thought, what if I launch myself out of bed like that rocket? That single thought became her first experiment in behavioral change, where she counted backwards, five, four, three, two, one. Then she moved, and that 5 second window changed everything. The 5 second rule sounds deceptively simple, but it's built on neuroscience. Here's how it works. When you count backward from five, you disrupt your brain's autopilot patterns. The hesitation, the doubt, the self sabotage, that moment of disruption gives you access to your prefrontal cortex, the decision making part of your brain, allowing action to override anxiety. It's cognitive. I'll take that back. It's cognitive reframing made practical. The magic isn't in the countdown itself, it's in the momentum it triggers. Within months, Mel used the method to rebuild her confidence, her relationship, and eventually her career. Mel didn't plan to be a motivational speaker. She was a CNN legal analyst and TV host before her viral TEDx talk changed everything. That 2011 talk, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over, exploded online, reaching over 30 million views. It wasn't flashy, it was raw, relatable, and rigorously honest. Mel talked about procrastination, paralysis, and fear, not as abstract ideas, but as everyday habits that block action. Her blend of behavioral science and real world empathy became her signature style. Mel turned a simple self improvement framework into a global personal development brand. Her empire now includes books such as The 5 Second Rule, over 2 million copies sold, The Five Habits, The High Five Habit, Redefining Self Validation and Confidence, Let Them Theory, a life changing tool that millions of people can stop talking about. Her podcast, the Mel Robbins Podcast, one of the top mental health and personal growth podcasts globally, combines personal storytelling with tactical psychology, speaking and corporate training. Trusted by Fortune 500 companies and global organizations. Digital courses and membership focus on behavioral change, productivity, and mindset transformation. Social media and YouTube presence, over 7 million followers and hundreds of millions of views across platforms. Mel isn't selling motivation, she's selling methodology. Mel's philosophy is anchored in neuroscience and cognitive behavioral therapy. She reaches that motivation is unreliable. You don't need to feel ready, What's wrong with me? She teaches the motivation that motivation is unreliable. You don't need to feel ready to act. You just need to start before you're ready. The act of doing rewires the identity of being. That's the foundation of behavioral change, not affirmation but activation. Well, Mel explains that every time you override fear with action, you build trust in yourself. And that self trust compounds into confidence. Confidence in her model is not belief. It's not belief, it's evidence. And confidence isn't something you feel, it's something you do. Rewiring self worth. Mel Sackens Gobble hit the high five habit goes beyond productivity into psychology. Every morning she challenges people to high five their reflection, a gesture that rewires your relationship with yourself through neural association. It might sound simple, but it's rooted in positive reinforcement science. Just like high fiving a teammate boosts motivation, acknowledging yourself does the same, releasing dopamine and creating self compassion loops. She reframes self encouragement as a discipline, not a delusional, not as a delusion. Talking about the pros and cons of the Mel Robbins model, scientifically, it's grounded, accessible, and actionable. It's a broad audience appeal across demographics, consistent and authentic personal branding, deep focus on self leadership, not toxic positivity. And the cons, it's oversimplified by skeptics who misunderstand uh, the science, so to speak. Heavy reliance on Mel's personal narrative, repetitive framework across her media, though highly effective. Still, her impact is undeniable. She turned a universal struggle into a daily solution. Five strategic lessons from Mel Robbins. First, motion builds meaning. Action isn't the result of clarity, it's the creator of it. Confidence is evidence. Trust yourself through proof, not potential. Three, simplicity scales. If your system isn't easy to apply daily, it won't stick. Four, emotional discipline is freedom. Master your mind and your reality follows. Five, start before you're ready. Courage is born in the first step, not the final one. And so talking about the broader impact, it democrat democratizing mindset. Mel Robbins defined the modern self-help industry by making mindset practical and inclusive. She don't doesn't tell people to manifest and meditate their problems away. She gives them micro tools that change today. Behavior today. Her frameworks are easy to adopt, measurable, and rooted in the belief that transformation isn't mystical, it's mechanical. She bridges the gap between psychology and empowerment with rare precision. Um, Mel Robbins built her empire not on hype but on habits. Her 5 second rule isn't just a life hack; it's a lifetime philosophy. You're always one decision away from a different outcome. She's a living proof that small shift done consistently create compound change, and that's not motivation; it's mastery. Mel's legacy isn't motivation, it's movement. She redefined that personal development means more for women who want results, not ritual. If you're ready to turn your next big idea into action, subscribe to Woman Up TV. Listen to the Woman Up podcast uh, on your favorite platform. For stories that fuel your mindset, join SheRanks Academy to build the recognition and confidence your leadership deserves. And follow my $1.5 million challenge because taking action is my daily ritual. Again, I'm Natasha, and this was Mel Robbins, The Psychology of Action.